gentlemen, welcome to our press conference. You have the unique occasion to have an interview with the chiefs of the machine builders of the leading machine builders companies in Germany. DMG MORI AG, Dürr, Software AG, ZEISS and ASM are bundling their forces together in favor of digitalization. I would like to present you Mr. Tönnes, CEO of the DMG MORI AG, Mr. Dieter, CEO of Dürr AG, Mr. Streibich, CEO of Software AG, and Mr. Spitzenfeld, a member of the board of ZEISS. Mr. Tönnes, the floor is yours. Good morning. Adamos, the machine tool builders in Germany have a very strong position. We have more than 1 million employees in Germany, so we belong together with the automotive and the chemical sector to the leading sectors in Germany. We are undergoing a very strong change, and we read every day on the newspapers news on digitalization. When you talk about digitalization, the machine builders and the plant builders need to become active. They need to drive the development actively. It is a task and a chance at the same time, and we can grasp it only together if we want to be active worldwide. Adamos is such an alliance of the leaders, of the world leaders on the market of the machine tool builders, in partnership with the knowledge of Software AG. We start in the world of digitalization. It's digitalization made by machine tool builders, for their suppliers and customers. With Adamos, we have an open, continuous IoT platform. Adamos is an acronym for Adaptive Manufacturing Open Solutions. We want to offer three main advantages. We offer the digital marketplace so that the machine tool builders can be able to use digital business models and use digital apps and solutions. The IoT platform is an open one. It is scalable, it is neutral in terms of producer, and it's always leading edge. The alliance for the development of the apps allows us to use and make available our knowledge, and in that way we are able to reduce the costs and offer to our customers more attractive prices, and offer many apps in order to convince our customers. So Adamos is convincing thanks to individualized and tailored offers, and thanks to a continuous and personalized IoT platform. We start on the 1st of October with 200 experts, 30 apps, but we're open to add new partners, and we're open to gain new customers. Adamos will be a leading-edge technology in the manufacturing industry. Mr. Dieter, the floor is yours. Good morning. When you talk to customers and apps, the apps that the customers receive are the apps that help them increase their productivity, to operate the machines, or to optimize production and plan service. With the Adamos App Factory, we bundle the whole technology know-how that we can offer as machine tool builders. We bundled the software activities that we had already started in the past, because we're not starting from scratch. We've done something in the past. So we start in this cooperation just like a star alliance, thanks to the App Factory Alliance. We develop together applications. We want to offer a portfolio in future for the overall sector of the machine tool and plant builders. Which are the topics we deal with? I would say 3 sectors. Performance management, for example, everything which can help a machine and an equipment to be more performing, like dashboarding, for example, apps for the monitoring of the machine. The second sector is manufacturing operation management, so we're talking about the control of a whole factory, for example, like manufacturing execution systems. And the third sector is service management, which has to do with remote diagnostic, predictive maintenance, and service. And those bring big advantages to the customers. So those are the topics we dealt with. We have 180 employees in 9 companies, and they will drive those topics in the next months. So we will develop further apps. We enter the market with a few apps. We will develop new ones. If you visit us at the trade show, you will be able to see what we've done so far. I think the App Factory is a unique selling proposition for us on the market. We offer other machine tool builders, and that's the sense of it. We want to offer possibility to learn quickly and to implement quickly the solution. We wanted to help others to enter the digital world in a quicker way and help the small and mid-sized company that might not have the resources to work in a digitalized way. They can do it thanks to our platform. I would now like to give the floor to Mr. Streibich. Thank you. Thank you for this large attendance, which shows the interest in Adamos. You know that innovation based on Internet of the Things and Industry 4.0 will be the topic of the future in our industry. But it is not possible for every company to go through the learning curve, and single companies do not have the needed resources. This is why 4 global players in the machine tool sector decided to start a joint venture among equals with a software company to push this to push these topics. What we would like to reach is a long-term partnership, and this is just the first step. The Industry 4.0 applications, all the apps, this is something that we want to do together. This is why our goal is a joint goal to combine our competencies, the industrial competencies of the machine tool sector. This is our strength, and this is our unique selling proposition, and this is why a partnership among equals is so important for us. Many of you might know that Software AG started with digitalization and IoT. We have invested 1 billion, over 1 billion since. We presented the digital enterprise. We have over 20 customers. Our technology focus, the platform as a service, also called PaaS, is in the machine learning and integration management. We start from there in order to create the digital factory of the future. Our competence of the Software AG are based on the experiences which we have gathered. We work on platforms. We offer platforms. All the apps for the machine tool sectors, all the apps will be available on the digital platform. What are the advantages? What are the benefits for the customers? A digital platform offers 80% of the functionalities that every app needs, for example, process management, real-time analysis, streaming analytics, etc. So with these very agile apps, it will be possible to focus on the user interface, on the logic, for example, if we're talking about a predictive maintenance app or something similar. And you can focus on the parameters that you need for the analytics. 80% is coming from the platform, and this makes our apps so agile, so strong, and so quickly. The apps that we will be able to produce in a few weeks. All partners have access with their agile apps to the Adamos platform, so they can benefit from this 80% of functionalities, and they can use them on their marketplace. The benefit is that every supplier can keep its own identity, so every company is using the platform, the competence under his name, combined with the know-how of other partners. This is why we are focusing on 2 points in the Adamos joint venture. First of all, we want to have a state-of-the-art and leading-edge platform, and we focus, of course, we also would like to gain new partners that would like to participate in this joint venture. We are open for new partners to use our digital services. We are convinced that we will be an innovation driver based on the cooperation among machine tool and plant builders, Germany-wide and worldwide. The software AG will never be a competition of the machine tool builders in digitalization. We are neutral. We do not belong to the sector itself, but we share the same culture. We will not have any log-in of one industry that will be predominant. It will be the possibility to have access to our platform among equals for all the users. I now give the floor to Mr. Spitzenfeil. We've heard that it is important to have a very stable basis for such a project. You might ask yourself, what is the benefit for the partners and for the customers? From the point of view of the partners, as Mr. Streibich already said, partners have the possibility to create new technology for the factory of the future. Customers can use the applications of Adamos and they get innovative services which allow them to improve security and transparency and productivity. From the point of view of the partners, we can open up new potentials, we can gain new potentials, we can guarantee long-term customer relationships. Partners have access to an open platform, IT platform. They can use it and they can develop it further. Partners can focus on their core competence. At ZEISS, for example, we focus on the industrial measuring technique and on quality. But we can offer efficient solutions through Adamos, and this is the strength of the synergy of this joint venture. And last but not least, of course, we can fulfill the requirement of our customers. From the point of view of the customers, the benefits they get from Adamos is that they get specific services for the machine tool sector, sector from the market leaders, everything from one source, from an established marketplace. They can be sure that the data security will be guaranteed. There will be no user login, as has already been said, so there will be no dependence on the suppliers. This means that this platform is a real alternative to other approaches on the market which require a login. So we are sure that as we are cooperating together, that the cost effectiveness will also be guaranteed. This also guarantees safety for your investments, long term. The platform is open. We work in a modular way. And this is the cornerstone for digitalization in the machine tool sector. As we said, machine tool builders want to work together here for their customers, for their suppliers. This is the strength of Adamos, and I would now like to give the floor to Mr. Tönnes again.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me summarize the main talking points and the messages before we move on to the questions and answer session. First of all, Adamos, and you will have read a lot about startups in digitization. Adamos is not a startup. Adamos is already up and running with 200 employees and a very large investment. Secondly, we have an alliance of global players, and we were really happy that we already have on board a Hong Kong-based machine builder, and as Mr. Streibich already told us, we will be finding, and we are already negotiating with new partners that will come on board. It's an open platform, which is really important to us. We have a vendor login it's not vendor login as we say in German. This is an important criterion. And thirdly, we have a large app portfolio. And this app portfolio will be expanded over the next few weeks, and the cooperation has already been very successful in these first few weeks in the exchange between partners. With Adamos, we work among machine builders, and we present ourselves digitally to our customers. In other cases, every machine builder uses their own platforms. But via the common platform, each manufacturer can use the own corporate identity to present themselves to customers. Starting from the 1st of October, we will start with an efficient platform. We are really looking forward to what is going to happen in the next few weeks. Now, at the end of this press conference, I think that there are going to be quite a few questions. Who would like to ask the first question? Hello. Good morning. Well, you have to come in front, otherwise you won't be seen. You need somebody passing around microphones. Yes, we are taking care of that. We will start the Q&A session here in the room, and after the first set of questions, we will have the participants that are connected via web and via phone. Okay, so we will do a first round here. Who would like to ask the first question? And sorry, once again, sorry, a short comment, please. Give us your name and the name of your organization. My name is Shamari. I write from manufacturing. Question from Mr. Dieter. You were saying that your new organization will help small and medium-sized companies and machine builders, and in terms of digitization. And this is what a VDMA is also trying to do. Are you working in competition or in cooperation with the VDMA? Well, I think that Mr. Tönnes will be better able to answer the question, because we are not members of a VDMA. It's not a competition, of course. It's not meant as a competition. We offer partnerships across the board, and well, I discussed this with the VDMA president, but as we highlighted several times, we are open. We are open to find new partners, and we offer a holistic solution, and VDMA leaders are invited. At the board, we will be presenting this in the near future, and I think this could be interesting for everybody to take a look into this Of course, there are companies offering their own IIoT platforms, like Siemens, for example, who are members, and you need to consider this. But in general, we are open to all partners. We are pioneering this. We already have an architecture which is very performant, and you can jump on board, not as competitors. It's not a competition. It's an invitation to join, to become part of this. Okay, thank you very much. Ronald Renz, Digital Factory Journal, VDA Verlag. You were saying you're open for all partners. I think that in this this concerns machine tool builders. No, machine builders and plant builders in general. If you have not heard this, this is our industry focus, as we said. VDI. You said you already had 30 apps. Could you say something in concrete on the apps? Whom do they come from? What can they do? What do they offer? And are they open for predicts and minds? Well, in general, you can test them live at the DMG booth at Adamos, which you can't overlook. It's a 10,000 square meters large. There is an Adamos corner. We have a maintenance assistance, for example, that helps service technicians to find their way through machines which they don't know by heart. There is a digital guidance through a repair process, for example. We have dashboarding, and we have several MAS systems for electronic manufacturing, for furniture manufacturing. We already have a lot of functionalities starting from now. Well, you have to add, Mr. Furrier, I know you. You're mainly interested in our medium-sized customers. We are cloud-based, and we offer cloud-based services. And as a performance management, as Mr. Dieter already highlighted, and we also do service management. We have this cloud-based, and we will have this up and running by the end of the next year. But we will see concrete examples at EMO. We mentioned dashboarding, dashboarding/cockpit, where we offer customers the chance to start working with this. And this might be one of the main USPs of this new platform solutions. We have it cloud-based on the one hand, but our business is not happening entirely in the cloud. We want to have it at the same time also on-premise. We are edge computing capable on-premise, but also in the cloud. And this is why we are able to take on board customers in a very early stage and help them to digitize the way we explained to you. You used a lot of technical terminology. Does everybody know what on-premise and on-edge is? Well, on-premise means that the software is installed on the customer's premises, and on-edge is on the machine, and the cloud means it's not at the customer side, but located at cloud centers. And we can do all of this, and this is a huge USP. Can you repeat the question, please, which we haven't heard? Sorry. What about your apps? Do they work on a pre-dApps, on Mindserv, on other IoT platforms? Well, look, we do Adamos first of all, but in Dürr we have automotive customers who tell us which platforms they would like to run the systems on, and of course we have to be able to do this. Sabine Koll, quality engineering. I have a question on the Trumpf. Trumpf has a similar platform which they opened with Axum several years ago. ZEISS is part of it, as far as I know. Is it a competitive platform? Are you using a two-track approach? Mr. Spitzenfeld, could you answer this? Well, as you already heard, we need to be open as suppliers. We need to be open to participate in a Predix or even in Axum, in different platforms. But the industrial measuring technology of ZEISS will take part in Adamos, because we have a lot of customers who are medium-sized companies and who need such a platform. But in terms of our general approach, we as suppliers need to be open to act on a different platform, so with the offers and with the apps that we do. And concerning your question, well, we don't participate in Axum. It's a 100% subsidiary of Trumpf, but of course we provide services on the Axum platform. That's true. Well, one part of the answer, as Mr. Tönnes told me, is this. Mr. Tönnes was reminding me that the machine builders took the decision to have an IoT and a software player on board in order not to need to go through a learning curve, in order to use our knowledge and in order to push further innovation by cooperating. And this will be the basis for scalability and for performance well into the future, just as we need it. We have over 500,000 machines that are already installed. And in the near future, it will be a 7-digit number. And in order to be scalable for that many machines, you need an IT and software partner that is already tried and tested. Well, I was saying already that we are not a startup. Axum is a startup. We are already up and running, and I don't want to say any more on this. So there is one more thing that I want to say as a machine builder. We need to launch this process, but we mustn't do it ourselves now, because this would require even more people. And if we had to build up the IoT competence of the software AG, it would take us years, and we don't have that much time. By work sharing and by working together, we are much faster, and this is the huge advantage. And I'm convinced that it will not be necessary to enrich this with just a few dozen people. Nobody has that much time to do this alone. Software is possible only in large, and software is moving much faster than machine building. The time to market is just 18 months for us, and in terms of software in the software industry, they always need to be leading edge. A time to market is just a few days usually. The software AG invested 1 billion investment into software competence would not be possible for us, and this is why we are so happy to have this cooperation. Well, as opposed to other large platforms, we share common work, and there is an agreement saying that the software AG will not address final customers, end customers, and offer this to end customers. We need to enhance our customer-supplier relationship, which we can enrich with new contents and which we can enrich with end-to-end solutions. Schutz, LBTV. Can you say something about the safety and security concept? Well, security, data security, of course, is an essential element. We have a triple approach. Of course, on the one hand, the entire Adamos platform is certified. You might know that in Darmstadt, we have a data and a cybersecurity hub. And via the Fraunhofer Institute, we operate this platform. We are partners. We cooperate very closely with them. And thanks to this hub, we are virtually capable. And on this virtual platform, everybody has their own data space. Every marketplace has their own data space. And then thirdly, on Adamos, in terms of staff, personnel, in terms of staff, security, safety will be addressed in the shape of competence centers. It's not just disruptors that endanger us, but cybersecurity is already a danger. We are fully aware of this, and this is why we already work with the cybersecurity hub of the Fraunhofer Institute in Darmstadt to come up with an answer to this. Well, the same holds true for banks. If you can't be safer than a bank, though. That's right. That's correct. Well, the bank for the machine building industry would make for a nice headline. Well, Mark Jutich, Werkstatt und Betrieb. I have a similar question. What are the criteria that I need to fulfill to be part of this process and to be able to access the App Store? Who decides whether requests are accepted or declined? If you are a machine or a plant builder, you are eligible to participate, and we will decide together who will be able to join and who will not be able. So Adamos will launch as a GmbH. Do you have a 25% share? Reach a 20. The fifth partner is missing, ASM. ASM didn't make it in time from Hong Kong. All partners hold 20%. Thank you. With other partners, the shares will decline, respectively. Eckhard Issel, HSBC. I have one question on the partnerships. You were mentioning two types of partnerships, joint venture partners that will participate in the stock, and then customers. I have been observing the process for quite some time, and I think there are three types of companies for what you envisage to do. There are smaller, family-run businesses who don't know whether they can afford digitization, or whether they should buy a software solution, and these are the companies that are predestined to become customers. And then there are the large integrated companies like Siemens, who do everything from end to end, from the bottom to the top, who will not become customers. They can become customers, but they probably don't want to. And what about the medium and large ones, like Körber, for example? They did a large IT acquisition in the logistics industry, but they will ask themselves, do I need our own IT competence, or shall we purchase a third-party IT competence, or will they be part of your equity capital? Well, in the first step, we will take up 10 or even 11 partners at equity level, like Körber, for example. Of course, they have their own competencies, but I think that Mr. Spitzenfeil is better able to explain this, because you have been doing this for quite some time. We have been doing this for quite some time with our measuring technologies in order to help machine builders and our customers with digital solutions. As you said, there are different groups of stakeholders. You have associates or partners who are already present here, and these are the founding members. But then there are other partners as well. These are the partners who will offer their solutions on the platform, who will use the marketplace in order to offer their digital solutions for their machines and plants for their users. And last but not least, there will be the customers who will be using the solutions that we will produce with the Adamos. And these are the three stakeholders that we will have. And if you are a medium-sized plant builder, Adamos is just the right platform in order to have access to the digital solutions for the machines. And it will make everything very simple. And as Mr. Streibich already said, this makes sure that users, with the available IT resources of medium-sized companies, will be able to connect to the Internet of Things. May I add one thing to the question that will be coming up next? How much does it cost to participate for a partner who is not a founding member? 300,000 per year is the entry ticket, but this already includes usage. So this means this is the entry ticket, and this means that smaller companies can participate. My name is Schludes, Solventis Beteiligungen. Mr. Dieter, you were saying that there was an investment of 60 million euros. Does this mean that everybody participated 12 million in order to put Adamos in place? Where does it come from, and who chose, who works on Adamos? What is your planned return on investment? I had not expected this question. Which one? Which one? Can I start answering your question? Well, the investment of 60 million is, I don't want to go into detail, is due to the software AG for a large proportion, and all the founding members 3 million. And if you have 10 founding members, it makes 10 million. The return on investment, well, I cannot answer this question. Nobody can answer this question, because we need to wait for our learning curve. Of course, we are not doing this in order to have no return. We want to see a return. I know what you're driving at with your question. Of course, there should be a higher return on investment than in service business. So you want to have fun, of course, and shareholders and investors also want to have fun. Very briefly, you said Adamos is open, the platform is open for new members. Is this just the way it is? We know that you don't have any competitors worldwide, but maybe sooner or later there's some competitor will try and make life a little bit more difficult for you. What is your assessment of this? Well, I do have competitors. DMG MORI has a market share of 15%, so we do have competitors. And we just talked to a competitor that we appreciate a lot, that whom we might be able to convince. We want to offer a benefit for customers and even for smaller companies, because the digitization, of course, is exciting for everybody. And the smaller companies read about digitization on the journals and find this very exciting. And we offer them an access with our end-to-end solution. And we know that we have a very valuable partner on board with the software AG. Medium-sized companies are not just interested in platforms and architectures. Medium-sized companies are concretely interested in products. They want to work with data. They want to become connected. They want to get a benefit, and they want to increase the availability of their machines. So first of all, it will be doubly exciting because VDMA and members of the German Machine Tool Builders Association will be able to take part in this, because we are open. And it's very difficult for a medium-sized or for a company not to be accepted. Well, in our industry, there might be one or two platforms who will become established in the consumer area. The train has already departed, if we are honest. But in Germany, where we are well positioned as machine builders, as plant builders, it is good that we take this initiative proactively and that we don't have a closed system, but an open system. Actually, we say that with Adamos, we want to have fun in our digital marketplaces. Every machine builder will have their own digital identity and will be able to run their own digital business model. We don't want Adamos to earn all the money. We want to be able to generate attractive products ourselves. And in terms of access for customer, and we discussed this very intensively over the past few weeks, we want to offer digitalization solutions from 10 to 100 euros per month in order to get smaller and medium-sized companies on board, because this access is what we want to offer. This is what is behind it all, and we want to offer this to competitors also, but we want this to become established as a standard. This is our goal, and this is why we need this approach now. But it's 10 to 100 euros per machine and not for the entire membership, correct. But think about it. Let's take a partner or a component manufacturer. They will be access to gain a digital. They will be able to access digitally via Adamos, and we will have a pay-per-use model. That is, they can access a digitization in a very cost-effective way, while other companies spend a lot of money for consultancies. Well, you can read articles via Giesberg or by those of you present in this room. We want to offer this access, and this distinguishes us, and we want to do this proactively. And I want to quote Mr. Streibich. You were said, made in digital Germany, correct? This is fantastic. Because But Mr. Tönnes, let me add one thing.
I would, we do not want to have it as a German partnership. We want to be an international platform. We have a company from Hong Kong, then we have DMG, who is joined with MORI in Japan. Adamos wants to be an international platform, and this is important to us because our customers are also internationally present. So again, it is a platform from Germany, but for all the world. So we need new partners from outside Germany. One question, Thomas Becker, Commerzbank. Considering your structure, would the other software player from Waldorf another alternative? I'm thinking about Leonardo from SAP, or were they too big or too less flexible? What was the reason why they're not in the partnership? I will then give the floor to Mr. Strabicher, but I would like to start. The core is the idea of a cooperation among equals. What I could learn from Mr. Strabicher, you can imagine that when 4 people get together, everybody has its own personality. And Mr. Strabicher said you have to learn to let other people also live the way they would like to. So when we started with the first talks, we said, okay, we want to work on this platform without getting in touch with the final customers. So we wanted to bring more strength to the machine tool builder. So Mr. Strabicher, of course, is not only participating in this partnership for generous reasons, but of course, a little bit of idealism also belongs to that. Please, I give you the floor, Mr. Strabicher. You might be modest, but you have to say why Software AG is as good as SAP. Okay, I'll try to give an answer to that. The most important thing is the architecture of a solution, not only the technology behind it. The architecture of the Adamos platform has been developed together with the machine tool builders. And the next step was we checked in which technology, products, and which components are we leading edge. You heard it from Forrester. Streaming analytics is the heart of an IoT platform. And then we went on with a combination. We wanted to have a structure which is scalable and performing. All the components of the structure were integrated by topics which were the own topics of every single partner in the joint venture. That's the version 1.0. In 6 to 7 months, you will have the version 2.0. That is, we are starting an innovation trip among equals. We do not want to have a proprietary ecosystem. We didn't want to have one of the 5 players that says, so this is my world, you can either participate or not. We want to offer something made by machine tool builders for machine tool builders and a scalable solution. The partners decided to cooperate with the Software AG, and it is a good decision. They've always thought in a platform manner. So we think in terms of our products, but they think in terms of platform, trying to be very concrete. Software AG started and grew up following the platform thought. I mean, Mr. Strabicher, we forced you to communicate that you had invested 1 billion. They invested 1 billion in platform technology. I mean, it is important to say that Software AG is doing a lot there. Further questions? robotic and production. A short question on data safety, data protection. Can you tell us something more about the data handling? Data handling, as far as it is possible to explain it, we started from the very beginning with a built-in private data spaces. So every customer is a tenant of his data, and they are protected. So he's the only one to have access to his data. Only the App Factory Alliance has an exchange of information to have a common basis on the Industry 4.0. But this data security is guaranteed for every customer. Sabine Kohl, Quality Engineering. A further question. You talked about synergies when you mentioned the apps. Do you have a couple of examples? What are the benefits for the customers, for example, of the synergy of using an app by Dürr, ZEISS at the same time and DMG? The synergies are coming out of the fact that the experts here are saying, okay, what kind of predictive maintenance do you have? Maybe we learn from one another and we offer the very best solution. So the benefit is that we offer the best of our joint experience. So there are not different partners coming detached from one another on the market. We can learn from one another. What we saw last week, the exchange of information already helped us a lot to improve our processes and our ideas. Well, I think the answer was a good one, but anyway, the strength and the benefit for the customer comes from the exchange that we have among one another. On the other hand, we would like to keep the data separate if the customer wishes that. But the decision is made by the customer, and we offer the technology to implement it. There were a lot of articles on digitalization, on machine tool sector, and in my experience, I've always thought that it is a pity that it is so difficult to cooperate with others in our sector. I've worked for ZEISS as well in the past. Now we have the chance to work together for this joint topic of the future, and it is a very decisive way. I'm really happy to see that the machine tool builders are getting together to cooperate and work jointly on topics. So we are active now. We are we are active now. Next question. It's a small question. What is the headquarters where is the headquarters of Adamos? At SAP, so Software AG? And the second question, are you also offering consultancy services, for example, especially for small-sized companies? It could be interesting to have consultants so that they can see how they can change their structures using your apps. Are you offering that as well? First question. The answer is the Adamos joint venture is a part of the three segments that we mentioned, the Factory Alliance, App Factory, etc. Adamos GmbH has its headquarters in Darmstadt at the premises of the Software AG. Secondly, within the Adamos joint venture, we have a group responsible for the partner service. So they also offer that they act as consultants so that also the smaller companies can participate in the benefits of Adamos. I would like to introduce Marco Link, the CEO of Adamos GmbH. So he has the right age for such a company, I would say. Further questions?
Ja, noch eine Frage. Uwe Marx.
Udo Marx, FAZ. I'm thinking about the moment when Adamos was founded. So who started, who got in touch with whom? How was the very beginning of Adamos? I can start. It was Mr. Streibich and I who started. Mr. Streibich is a member of our supervisory board. He was appointed last year during summer. The supervisory board of Dürr AG. So the two of us started talking about it. You know that we bought ETAC, and through ETAC I had the chance to get to know Mr. Töners. Yes, we had a first meeting, we had an exchange of information, and Mr. Dieter told me, Mr. Töners, it's everything very interesting, but I need to interrupt you because I have prepared something with Mr. Streibing. We have started something already. And I said, Mr. Dieter, I've had a lot of experiences. I've drunk too much, I've talked too much, but it never occurred to me to be too late. I do not want to be too late. I would like to be part of it. Okay, so we met again, the three of us, and at the end of that meeting, the architecture of the new company was quite clear. So architecture first, as Mr. Streibing said already, and from that point we had a first workshop with 40 participants, and then we said that we would like to have further friends coming from our sectors. So we thought about ZEISS, and my first reaction was that ZEISS is too conservative. They would never make up their mind quickly, but indeed, they made it, and I can say today we have a good pipeline. We have more potential partners in the pipeline, and we start on the 1st of October. I'm quite sure that we will be able to give you positive information at the open house at the beginning of the year 2018. We will be able to give you use cases to tell you how the customers are using our platform. I would like to add something. The most impressive thing was that we said, okay, we do that, and we did it in 2.5 days. You usually need a couple of weeks to work out such a structure, but you know, we didn't have much spare time during those weekends. Well, we made it. 2.5 days, and the partnership was ready. Digital first, I would like to add something. I do remember, it might have been after the workshop, Mr. Streibich told me, we have a great idea, and we as ZEISS, we are also very active in terms of digitalization. We decided very quickly, because we do believe that we are given with our partnership the right answer to the requirements of the market. The decision was quick, and also the colleagues, the team of Dr. Peter was also very cooperative. And we are very dynamic, and we are very quick. ZEISS is not the ZEISS you used to know from the past. A very positive aspect for all partners is that we saw that the so-called soft factor, being among equals, is the basis, is the foundation that allowed us to work out a clear vision and a clear architecture for the future, and that allowed us to start this joint travel, the cooperation, which is a joint trip. We have 6 further machine tool builders in the pipeline because they're interested in participating. I do not see any further questions in the room, so we ask the attendees per webcast if they have questions. How many attendees do we have? Yeah, we have a first question. Knut Woller, Baader Bank. Thank you. Short question to Mr. Streibich. What is your profit if you have new partners? Is it app-driven or volume-driven? So how is Software AG profiting from the success of Mr. Adamos? Thank you for your question. Mr. Tönnes has already mentioned it. We have a model which is pay-per-use. When you have a new partner add in, they pay 300,000 euro a year. And for those 300,000 euro a year, they can get our services. And then they pay per machine, per data volume, per IP call. In that way, so he decides at which speed or which amount of digitalization he would like to use according to his needs. And he pays according to the volume of digitalization that he uses from Adamos. And this is paid back to the partners. For the Software AG, it is a completely new market segment. We were never active in the machine tool builder. We work a lot in the USA, over 70%. We work in the high security sector in the USA. Those are our customers to which we offer safety, reliability, and scalability. We proved that this is the know-how that we can offer, and we offer it now with our platform to the machine tool builders and their customers. Next question from the web. We do not have any further questions from the webcast. Any further questions in the room? Of course, we would like to invite you to the EMO. I would like to thank you for your interventions and questions. It's a huge motivation to act. The EMO is the biggest trade show for the machine tool builder. DMG MORI will be in the hall too. We will present Adamos there. We will also have experts from the Software AG, Dürr, and ZEISS, of course. We want to show it to our suppliers and customers, and we are glad, we will be pleased to see you there. The EMO will take place from the 18th to the 23rd of September. It's in 2 weeks. Of course, many more topics will be presented there, like additive manufacturing. It's 10,000 square meters. We are exhibiting 80 machines. Out of them, 40 are connected through Adamos. So we will be able to present some concrete examples. So we've just started, but we will be able to present some concrete examples to you as well. A digital business is something we want to act in. It's not something we want to talk about. Thank you very much. We have the chance to have lunch together, all the members of the boards, and we have at least 15 additional experts. We have 5 members of the board of the Dürr AG. They are all available to answer your questions during lunch. Mr. Weihrauch, Mr. Zehner, Dr. Joost, Software AG, Mr. Biermann, CFO, DMG MORI. They're all available. Thank you for your attention and your questions.